Good morning. Before we talk Leicester and Premier League, can I just ask you about Champions League, because everybody's talking about the draw yesterday. You're going into the season's competition after what happened last year, going so close. You've obviously strengthened as well. So what does that do for your confidence in your approach in this season's competition?
We will see that, don't know. It's not too important. Last season is never too important. It's good as an information, it's good as an experience, but it will not help you massively in a specific game. So I don't think that we can go in the first game is at home against PSG. We go in that game, I think we're already halfway through because we beat Rome and Manchester last year at home in a very impressive way, obviously. So that has nothing to do with each other. We will have to prepare these games in the best way we can. It's still a early part of the season, but when we face PSG, then we probably all played 5 or 6 games in the season, and so you have a lot of information. So it's not like the first game in the Premier League when you only have pre-season friendlies or test games or something like that. So that makes it really interesting preparation. I love that always to do. Try to adapt to the different needs against the different opponents. And for the boys, how I said, it's exciting when you have your first Champions League game. But the good thing with that competition, it's not less exciting when you have number 10, 12, 15, 20, because the competition is outstanding and everybody wants to play there. And when you are there, and it's clear that you face constantly outstanding good teams. That's all. Champions League is all about that. So there are only good teams involved, and so I was not surprised yesterday in a negative way, not in a positive way, that I thought, wow, it's PSG, it's Napoli, and it's Belgrade. So that's how it is, and now let's play the Premier League, obviously, and then be ready for that competition as well. That's it.
The season moves very quickly into another gear in September, doesn't it? Because you have 3 competitions with the League Cup as well. As I said earlier, you did strengthen in the summer. So how's your feeling now about the strength and depth in the squad at the moment to cope with all this football?
Yeah, today it's good. Today it's good, but it needs to stay good. So that's how it is, because it was always clear that August will be a bit different, because we started now 3 times in a row with the same starting lineup. That will not happen too often from now on in the future. That's how it is. It's probably not possible, but hopefully we have the choice as well in that part of the season, because that's why we did it. We didn't do it for August. We did it for pretty much all the other months of the season, and that's for the moment it's absolutely good. But we have to prove that then as well on the pitch. It's not about knowing who is available. It's about that the guy who is available can perform on highest level. That's very important as well. So we try to help with all we can, with training, meetings and stuff like that. But at the end, it's still like this. The boys have to deliver. And I thought after the preseason it looked really good. Now all the players are 4 weeks further, so it means they are now in a much better situation than 3 weeks ago when we had when the season started, because of only the physical things, and we need that. So we need that. We need a good result tomorrow and a good result in all the other games. So, and for that we need all the players. So I'm looking forward to that.
You mentioned help, and I think you're the first club in English football to employ a part-time throwing specialist coach. Can you just explain why you've taken that decision? Why is throwing so important to you?
Well, I think it's not only important to me; it's important to everybody. But to be honest, I never heard about a throwing coach and how it is as a football manager. You know a lot about different things, and I played the game. I'm managing since around about 18 years or so, but that doesn't mean that I'm a goalkeeper specialist, I would say. And I'm obviously not a throwing specialist, but I know about different movements. That's what we always did. But it was not 100% clear. Maybe it's only my fault, but for me it was not 100%. How can I improve the guy with the ball, not only the movements of all the other guys? So, and when I heard about Thomas, then it was clear to me I want to meet him. When I met him, it was 100% clear I want to employ him. And so now he's here, and now we work on that from time to time, but we use his information as well during the week when he's not here. So we use it, of course, for the academy as well. So it's good. It's just you cannot have enough specialists around you. I must be always the guy who makes the decision when do we use all these specialists, but you cannot have enough. So we have that fitness medical department, we have that nutritioning, and now we have somebody for throw-ins. Yeah, and he's a good guy, to be honest.
Has he made a difference?
Yeah, of course, already. Yeah, it's cool. It's good. Boys like it. They have somebody who knows what he's talking about. It always helps when you want to improve something.
What are your thoughts about facing Leicester without Jamie Vardy, a man who's caused you problems in the past?
Yes, that's true. Jamie is for the player he is, and he caused pretty much each team problems with his style of play. Actually, with always on the edge, going in behind, over shoulder, all that stuff. It's really difficult to defend. So that makes him different to nearly all other strikers in the Premier League. So it makes him so special. That's good for him. But now he will not play. So that changed, of course, a few moments in the game maybe for Leicester. But Iheanacho is a very good striker as well. So it's slightly different, of course. No, we all are different, but very, very good. And they changed anyway the style a bit. So it's very good team. And you see, okay, we play them, so it's not important that I like it too much, but the work of Claude Puel obviously now starts paying off. So that's really, you can see it with Maddison, Pereira, Gray. That's an offensive line. Not a lot of teams in the Premier League have. Plus then whoever's the striker in that formation, and so that changed the style a bit and. Makes it, well, the preparation for the game was really interesting because it's good football. It's good football, but Leicester's playing. I think they are full of confidence after, especially the last result, which always helps. And will be difficult for us. It's but as I said, we are in a good moment as well, and we go there and really try everything to get the result we deserve at the end. So if we play good, we should, or maybe we can deserve a win. And if we play not that good, then it will be difficult. So we have to be at our best. That's it.
Can you give us a few thoughts on Alisson? Because that's right, he became the first goalkeeper to keep 4 clean sheets in his first 4 games. He's made a difference.
He's a good goalkeeper. Well, so far we defended well. It's not that he had 20 shots on target so far. So, but that's hopefully stays like this. So you need a goalie who is always spot on and is constantly on highest concentration level. Because, as I said, you don't. Hopefully, Leicester as well, there will not be 10, 12, 15 shots on target. So we have to avoid that. And then in the specific moments, he needs to be there. So far, so good. Nothing to moan about today. But we all know there will be, for us as a club, as a team, for some players, there will be difficult moments during the season. And it's a job to push them as far away as possible, and the best way you have it in the summer break. But we need to be ready for different challenges. He himself as a goalkeeper, and of course we as a team as well. A goalkeeper alone on the pitch could never make enough saves to win a game. But with all the guys around, it's a bit more likely, and that's what we try to do.
Michael? Oh, sorry, Jurgen.
Do they have numbers on their back? Or what?
You said it's so early in the season, but should you make it sort of 12 points out of 12 tomorrow in the Premier League before an international break, what kind of message, what kind of statement will that send out?
You have to ask me that after the game. I don't know. That depends on the game. Of course, it would be fantastic, but we don't go for 12. We go for 3. And that's difficult enough, actually, and the next 3, and that's, we cannot, how could I sit here after the season Leicester played so far and only have a percentage of an idea that we will win there for sure. That's not possible. We only will try everything, and for that we need to be ready for a real fight. They really have a good side. So in a situation like that, of course, then people talk after Champions League draw, so all talk about the same clubs, and then the next match days. But they are really good football teams, and Leicester looked to me really good in these first 3 games. And so the message would be we are ready. We were ready so far for all these games. That's the message. But that doesn't mean anything, because then the boys go all over the world again. I have big travel, big journeys. The Brazilians come from USA midweek before we play Tottenham. So that's how it is. We cannot. We want to win that game. We can imagine that, but I can't be sure in the moment that it will happen. So no, I have no problem with that. But and doesn't mean for the rest of the season anything. Only we have already 12 of the, I don't know which number we'll have at the end, and then very difficult games are coming up. That's how it is. So going to Tottenham was never easy and will not be in a moment easy. And so that's it. But we still try to do it at Leicester with all the things we know meanwhile about them. We know, yes, it's possible, but it will be really difficult.
Michael?
Yeah, 3 wins out of 3 so far, 3 different types of performances. How much encouragement do you draw from the fact that you can find different ways to win, and you don't necessarily have to be at your brilliant best?
Oh, to be honest, I don't think it was too different. Yes, of course, the away game was completely different to the home games. But for a away game at Crystal Palace, we controlled the game in a good way. So that's very important. Everybody, well, you know it better than I do, that what kind of place the Palace Stadium is. So it's difficult to succeed there, to get something there. So, but the Brighton game, I would say in the first half, we could have been 2 or 3-0 in the lead. That's the truth. So we were really good in these moments. Counter press was good, football playing was good, patient, all that stuff. Patience was there, whatever you needed in the right moment. Only we didn't score. I think the header of Bobby, the very big chance of Sadio after nice play, left foot, missed the goal for, I don't know, an inch or so. And these things, and if you can score in these situations, then the game changed obviously completely. But we didn't, and so that was. And then the second half, we had to fight for the result after we lost a bit the rhythm and these things. What is not, I know that things that is happening, especially in the early season, it always can happen, because how could we be 100% sure how to deal with all these situations when you didn't have it together so far? So yes. In the second half, if you want, the home game with West Ham and Brighton was completely different. First half was not too different, and so I'm fine so far with what I saw, because it always brought us 3 points. But again, Leicester is a different caliber, and it will be tough. So that's how it is. They play really confident football. The midfield is really strong. It looks good. The defensive line is. They play together for a while. Obviously, then Chilwell, massive player for them, and with a great future. So it looks really big talent. If he's still a talent, but is really a good player. So that all makes it special, and. Taking the confidence out of from the results is important, but it should not lead you on the wrong path. So that's how it is. So we spoke a lot about that, about what confidence can do in a good way, very cool. But if you misunderstand it, then you are already on the losing side, if you want. So we need to go there and be. Only my English doesn't give me a lot of different words for that. We need to be angry again. That's how it is.
You've named an unchanged side for the first 3 matches, and you mentioned before that's pretty unusual for you in the Premier League. Apart from the obvious injuries and perhaps loss of form, what are the sort of things that inform you of having to, or as far as you're concerned, needing to change your starting lineup?
But when you win a game, and then in a week like this, Saturday, when we have at least 3 very intense sessions, then I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open to everybody. I want to see who shows me the most and who shows me that he's so desperate to play. And that's exactly the same for of course, there's a little advantage for the lineup last week, which won the game. But that's the only thing, and I'm really open to that. And it's in the best way. It's always like this, that nobody has a weaker week from the starting lineup last week that was like this, but then maybe somebody is really showing up. So that's one part. Then what fits to the opponent, what is needed for the opponent, it's very important. So it's not that I close the book already directly after the game and think, okay, we won again, so they will play again if nothing happens. So no, there's a lot of qualification possibilities through a normal week. It's much more difficult when you play three times a week, because then you have not that much training, and I have to guess a bit more. But in this time, in this week especially, it was I saw a lot, and the quality of training needs to be on a really high level, and that's a good thing with the squad when they all are fit and available. Then you have 21, 22 players, and if they are, and that early in the season they are all, then really, in a good moment, even the players that didn't play, because they know we will need them, then the quality is really high. And if he can take that through the season, that would be a massive help.
Mark on the win.
Hi.
You change your unbelievable. It's like, wow, yeah. They sacked you or what? From the camera thing.
Mohamed Salah's had an interesting week. He started off with a very public argument with the Egyptian FA. He was in Monaco for the players of the Lords. Last season we also talked about his goals in football. Are you worried at all that these things will become a distraction for him?
Oh, about the thing with the Egyptian FA, I cannot say too much. It's like it's really something in between the player and the FA. So I know I spoke to Mo, of course, about that, but it's not about us to intervene in that moment or whatever to say something about that. They will sort that. I'm pretty sure. So that's it. And what was the other thing? Because he was in Monaco this week.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole the week he's had. You know, I mean, following up on that, are you happy then for players to be publicly outspoken like he has been in this argument?
How said I cannot. It's not about me. So it's really between Mo and the FA, and that's all what I can say about that. They all are adults, and as long as they don't talk about us, so pretty much everything allowed. I would say maybe not everything, but a lot.
Okay, thank you, Carl. Adam?
You spoke about how pleased you are with the defence so far. I'm just wondering how impressed you've been with Joe Gomez so far.
Look, it's much too early to. Yes, of course he was part of this team and he played really good, and I wasn't in doubt about that. So it's very important especially because of the injury of Dejan that we really, and at the beginning of the season, the kind of injury still from Joel. It was very important that he could play like he played. Hopefully it will continue like that. So that's it. So still a young boy, going now to England after the game. Probably will play there 1 or 2 games. So it's an intense period for him as well, after a difficult year, after a long injury and all that stuff. But his ability, his skills, there was never a doubt about that. So, but he's part of that, and obviously enjoys it. And now we need to make sure that he can do that consistently. That's the case.
Jurgen, Simon Mignolet recently said he found it bizarre that he wasn't allowed to leave on loan while Loris was. Can you understand his frustration, given he might not play that much this season, and it doesn't look likely that he's going to depart before today's deadline?
No, that's true. Nobody will, or he will not depart. Of course not. So, yeah, no, I would say that's. How is that? In general, discussing your individual problems in public is actually doesn't make too much sense, because it's better you speak to each other. That's always. I'm a big believer in that. But it was still okay. But of course, it's actually it's a one time, and we are all human beings, and I have no problem with that. And but if he would be happy to be a number two, he would be completed. Then I wouldn't really know him. So he's a top professional, a top goalkeeper, and of course he's not happy to be number two. But at the end, there are worse things in the world than being number two. Pretty good paid, by the way, at Liverpool. So I don't. It's absolutely, in the first moment you understand decisions or not. It's always better than to talk to me about that directly than newspapers, because in this case Matt told me at one point, but usually I would not even get aware of it. So that means then it makes not too much sense. If you want to say me something, then say it directly. That helps.
Thanks, Now, anything from you before we finish? No? I hope that Neil's in. I'm in, yes. Do you want to finish it up?
Oh.
Anyone else likely to leave before the end of the day? The deadline?
We'll see.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, guys.
Brilliant.
Any team news?
Sorry?
Any team news for us?
Team news?
No, injury wise.
I thought private or whatever. No. No?
You said no new injuries. No new injuries, people.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.